Hello everyone and welcome back to this My Team series. We are on round 5, which seems quite crazy as it only seems like yesterday we started season 2. But yeah, so after this race we'll be halfway through the season. Alright, so let's quickly check out what happened at the factories and facilities and then we can go to qualifying. So we did 2 Aero upgrades. We did the rear wing end plates and the front wing end plates, which also helps with the front and rear end downforce, obviously. So going for a lot of downforce improvement going into Hungary, as it is quite a aero-based technical track. Power's not really that relevant. But we also did do a power upgrade with the crankshaft. So just a little bit more engine power, just in case we do need that power on the straights. And all of them luckily came through before the Hungarian Grand Prix, which was a touch. We also had about 5 million to spend, so I did exactly what I've been doing on the other factories, which is just increasing the build time. This time it's for the chassis factory, so that should reduce how long it takes to get parts in, which is always good news. We also got an email from our boy Carl, who confirmed what we already knew, which is that Grosjean is going to retire at the end of this season, which doesn't really matter because after the season, it'll be F1 2021. Alright, so as always, before we head to qualifying, let's look at the performance index. And as you can see, we are now the 3rd best car, which is crazy, really. That performance gain has been unreal. So yeah, hopefully, we possibly could nick a podium. I don't know, it'll be very close. I definitely think the car is possibly good enough to get there now. Also, Mercedes had a little improvement, looks like Red Bull did, as did Ferrari. They had quite a big jump, so they're more towards the back of the midfield now. And Haas had a very big jump as well, so they're kind of in a weird no man's land, but would probably still go out in Q1 anyway. Alright, so that's everything done at the factories. Let's head to qualifying for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Alright, so here we are going for our first lap in Q1. Hopefully we only have to do 1 lap in Q1, as I kind of want to save a set of tyres for Q2 and Q3, because we're definitely going to need them if we want to get through. So Hungary, quite a good track, very technical. I'm hoping that the car is set up well enough to do well this weekend. Just because I feel like we've got great aero package on the car now and our power's not too bad, so hopefully going down the straight we should be able to make some overtakes this weekend in the race tomorrow. And it's just a good track. Obviously can't do too many overtakes as it is quite technical and tight, so the only real place to overtake is the straight, so you need to just make sure we've got a good exit out of the last corner. Anyway, I'll stop talking so much and be focusing more on what we're doing. So far, I think it's been a pretty clean lap, to be honest. Just coming towards the end of Sector 2 now. Drop it down to 6 for Turn 10, I believe. Turn 11, sorry. This is Turn 12, down to Gear 3 normally, but for some reason I went down to Gear 2, so a little bit conservative. Missed the apex there, so this isn't a great lap. And we're going to come around the last corner now, down to normally Gear 3 or 4, down to 4, that's fine. Get a good exit. Could have gone a little bit quicker then, could ride those curbs, and over the line we've done a 1:13.7, which has put us 11th currently. And that was good enough to get us out through into Q2. So as you can see, our teammate qualified, or currently ended the session rather, in P7 with a 1:13.4, and we've got through 13th with a 1:13.7. And then just looking at the 6 cars that went through is what we expected, the 2 Haas's, the 2 Alfa Romeos, and the 2 Williams. So straight into Q2 for our first lap here, and hopefully we can do a good lap. Obviously you always want to do a good lap, but hopefully if we can do a good lap we can definitely save 2 sets of tyres for that last Q3. So down to turn 1, gear 2 gear 3, when we're coming out of there you can short shift just to get the traction down better. As soon as the 50 metres goes past, going into turn 2, try and hug the apex as much as you can. Turn 3 is relatively easy, just flat out. Now turn 4 is pretty difficult. It's difficult to know, especially on how grippy the car is. Got through that with gear 7 as we did a purple sector 1 there, as Danny Kvyat, our teammate, has just done the fastest lap of the Grand Prix qualifying rather, as we go into the chicane. Have a little bit of had a big moment coming out of the chicane there. Obviously just got the power down too much, held that, but definitely would have lost a couple of tenths of a second there. So this isn't going to be a great lap. as we're coming through turn 11 now, down to gear 6. Obviously not that confident to go, well, flat out through there. Down to, I don't know why we didn't shift down to gear 3 there. Went through there gear 4, so we definitely lost some time going through there at gear 4 instead of gear 3. Missed the apex a little bit there as well, so this is a bit of a scrappy lap. Definitely sector 2 and sector 3 hasn't been great. Better out of the last corner, and that does a 1:14.0, so that's 0.3 of a second slower than our fastest lap in Q1, so we're definitely going to have to go again. Although, having said that, we are currently P6 somehow, which is a big surprise. And then just looking at the bottom half of the grid there, we have our teammate, who is currently 13th. Obviously, the one big absence there is Max Verstappen hasn't done a lap, so technically I think he would jump us, so we would be 7th. But yeah, we went out for our second lap, and going through turn 4, we get it all wrong, take too much curb, lose the back end, and that is our qualifying lap done. So at this point, I was a bit like, I think we're pretty much going to be out here. But fortunately enough, as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, the last McLaren just went through, and we finished P8 somehow. So somehow, doing a worse lap in Q2 than Q1 has got us through. Yeah, very weird, but somehow we qualified, or got through rather, and our teammate didn't, which is crazy. So Danny Kvyat has qualified 12th, which isn't great. It's not terrible, as he will get free tyre choice. But yeah, P8. So we managed to get through, which is great news for us. But obviously we did use one of our extra set of tyres doing that, which isn't great. And then, just looking at the bottom cars that went out, so we had the 2 AlphaTauris, the 2 Ferraris, our teammate, and Lance Stroll of the Racing Point. Alright, so here we are for our first lap in Q3. This was the end of the lap. We've gone way too wide there, so this isn't going to be a great lap. And we go over the line on this used set of tyres and do pretty much what we did last time. About a tenth quicker, so it's a 1:13.9, which currently puts us 7th. So yeah, the timings are very weird. It seems that Q1 seemed to be the quickest session, and currently Q3 is, it's just much slower than Q1, which makes no sense, but it is what it is. So currently we are 7th. Obviously, we can do probably a much better lap than that, as that was on a used set of soft tyres. So yeah, hopefully we can do one more lap, and it be a good lap, as we haven't done one good lap yet. All right, so here it is. Final lap of the session, and if we do a good one, I think we could get quite high up. I mean, 6th would be about where I think we should be, but you never know really. Going into turn 1, had a little bit of a moment there. Obviously got the power down a little bit too eagerly, and we are currently just matching where we were. Hit the inside of the apex there, but that is much better through there already, as we're at 1.5 tenths basically. Coming up to the notorious turn 4, going to go through this quite quick, down to 7. Oh, we've lost the rear. Oh! And that is the front wing gone and a pirouette, and that is our qualifying over. That is not good news. So you can see the replay, hit the inside curb, unsettled the car as we did last time, but we've actually lost a bit of the front end plate, which we just upgraded, which is great news. Obviously not. And look, just dropped it and then done a double pirouette. Not good news. But somehow, no one improved. So we've somehow qualified 7th, which is kind of where I was expecting us to be. So yeah, a very strange qualifying session. Our fastest lap in Q3 was a 1:13.9, which was not a good lap, I didn't think, on a used set of tyres as well. So yeah, goodness knows where we would have been if we actually did a good lap. Yeah, just a weird qualifying session that actually turned out all right. And looking at the rivalry between us and Lando, we got 2 points to his 1 as we outqualified him, and it's tied at 18 apiece. Alright, so that's going to wrap up this very strange qualifying session for us. If you enjoyed it, then don't forget to drop a like on it, as that always helps us out. And if you want to see more content like this, and F1 2021 content, which comes out in a couple of weeks now, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. As always, if you've got any questions or you just want to say hi, drop it in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Alrighty then, I've been Jumbo, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the race.